Great to be at home for the opener, to get that done. Fans were awesome today and lit it up for us to help us on pass rush late in the game when we needed it. It wasn't a game that I hoped it would be, but I was concerned that we might be a little messy trying to figure out what they were doing, and we really took away the running game totally, and they just threw the heck out of it. And Andy did a great job. Hit a bunch of guys. They made a lot of nice catches and stuff, and they did a good job throwing football. But when you look at this game from a defensive side of the ball, we really blew it on the long one that they get it. It's 3rd and 18 or something like that. That's one. The other one was a flea flicker that they got us on, which was a really nicely executed play by them, and give them credit for it. But those are 2 big plays, and the rest of the game was we found our way to get off the field. So a lot of positive stuff there, and I was really surprised that we had trouble protecting today when we struggled with our play pass stuff, which has been really strong for us, and just didn't work out as well as we wanted to, and so we didn't get our shots, and we wound up a lot of negative situations behind the sticks and all that. So that's always hard, and so it just made for a hard day. The thing that was great about this football game was we were behind the whole time, and we played from behind the whole day, and those guys never stopped. They never stopped thinking they were going to win the football game. That's so valuable to us because we're going to be behind in games, and it's going to be hard. They're going to be tough, and that was really obvious, and the mentality was just where it needed to be to go ahead and set it up for an opportunity to come from behind and make a win, and then hold them off and get out of here, And so I think the play of the day, there's a few plays of the day in this one, but the pass to Tyler, the execution from Russell to Tyler to put us ahead to stay was really an incredible play, and just 2 guys that just have been together a long time, saw something, they made a little adjustment, and here we go, and it was perfect. So we started, and we'll figure out what to do from here. I was pleased with the kicking game, the coverage and the kicks and all that. The guys did a great job, and so that was really clean and kept us in it the whole time. So I took my first shot at the pass interference, new deal, kind of just because I was pissed, and they just did it. It wasn't really a good idea, but I just wanted to prolong, the whatever. So that wasn't really the exact time you want to use it, but I had my wits about me, but at that point, I just didn't care. I just wanted to compete and just make them have to tell me that they did it wrong and they didn't do it. So anyway, that's how it may go again. That could happen again. Anyway, so good win. It's great to get here, to be here and play here to start this thing off. We got a big trip coming up and all that. We'll talk about it, but the challenges have begun. And the first one, it was about believing, and the guys hung tough today.
Coach, you pretty much covered it all, but this is 11 home openers in a row. Talk a little bit about the mentality coming into the home opener and how the crowd, everybody else inspires the team.
11 home opening wins. Okay, I didn't know that. That's a great stat. Awesome. That has to do with a lot of stuff, and that's why I think haven't we only started at home 4 times since we've been here on the first game of the year. Yeah. So maybe they want to make it hard on us. I don't know, but it's great to be at home. Is really what the statement is, and glad we got started well.
Coach, how concerned were you with the lack of pressure you were able to put on Andy Dalton despite the narrative?
The pressure was kind of sporadic, and. But when we needed it, we had it. 3rd down wasn't bad for us today. But yeah, we were in a lot. We lined up to make sure that they couldn't run the football, and it worked. And but they moved the ball a lot. Again, I go back. There's 2 big plays in this game that make a difference, and the time of possession was lopsided. But we need to clean up those 2 plays too. That shouldn't happen to us.
What did you think of Clowney in the first time out?
He did some stuff, He was obviously knocked the ball down right off the bat and had a big play on the sack. It was great to have him out there. And I know you probably could have asked about Ziggy. He just wasn't quite ready for this game, and we're thinking long haul, and we'll hope that next week will be the week. He practiced throughout the week, but just couldn't quite get it right, and so we'll be asking about it all next week too. But I think we'll keep our fingers crossed that he can play next time.
Were they just really ganging up on your guys' run game, or do you feel like that should have been?
I don't know. I got to see the film. We didn't run the ball well. 75 yards is not enough for us. We need to run the ball better than that. But I felt like we were not in command of the sticks, and that's where the play passes and everything fits together. We were behind a lot, so we'll be better.
Talk about the offensive line play, just overall.
Yeah, when we get sacked a bunch of times and we don't run the ball, then you're going to look at that and we'll see. Let me see the film. I got to put some work into that.
Were Clowney snaps the plan, or when as the game went on?
He went more than we thought, but he was fine. He felt good about it, and so we really knew we'd have to play it by ear. But I think he had 20-something snaps in the first half, which was not really the plan. But we were just out there so much because we didn't get on offense at all. So. He's 26 years old. He's ready to go and all that. We'll see. He'll be pretty sore this week.
Talk about that fourth down with Woods making that incredible stop on the fourth down play when Cincinnati was driving. He also had an interception today. He played really well.
Yeah. I think they called that the fumble. It was a fumble recovery, but it still was a terrific play. Al did a nice job. We really, I should mention Quentin Jefferson had a great game. He had 6 tackles. He had 2 tackles for losses. He had 2 sacks. He had a couple pass defense, knockdown or whatever. He had a terrific game today, and that probably. It definitely was the best game he's had for us, and we needed every bit of it.
DK Metcalf, 12 big plays. I mean, is that
good start. A good opener for him. Other than the penalties, he did fine and made some tough plays. Russ got the ball to him on a couple, the big bomb and then the one down the middle. I don't know how to explain that pass, but it was a great grab for him. Under duress. That's a really good start for him. He's ready to go.
Is that important for him to already understand that the play's never done with Russ? You got to be able to run the scramble drill.
Sure. We've been pounding that for months, in the off season about it, and it's a great illustration. He's pretty comfortable playing now. He's doing fine, and that's a great start for him. And you can see why we're fired up about him.
We've talked about Clowney and Ziggy coming in, to have some guys like Quentin to step up and to have Rasheem get the fumble at the end, just have some of those guys kind of
huge production for those guys, and it'll just be better. It will just be better in general when everybody's out there doing it together. Bobby had a bunch of tackles today, and I think Trey had a bunch of tackles today around it all, but those guys made some nice plays up front too. It's such a big way to finish. When you have a chance, they got a chance. They only need a field goal. They only got to get about 30 yards. Our guys rose to the occasion and played great down the stretch. And that was Rasheem's sack that ended the thing.
Is there
2+2 today? I love that for sure.
Is there a specific teaching point for Tedrick at all on that play right before the half, or what he's?
Yeah, I guess when we throw the ball deep to those guys all the time, and every day of practice, and he just misjudged it. He's a terrific ball hawk guy, and he just misjudged it. Just left his feet too early, and it's too bad. That never should have happened, obviously.
Coach, how do you feel like Trey played today?
I thought he played fine. We played a lot of zone today, and he was off, and they threw the ball underneath him some. We did not spend a lot of coverage underneath those guys today. That was not part of the plan, and so they were kind of hung out, and they took advantage of it a little bit.
How did you
scheme than anything else? I thought both the corners played aggressive.
How did you feel like this zone worked today in the secondary?
There's a lot of stuff that worked great in the game plan to force them to throw the football like that, and so. It's kind of intricate, but really, most of it worked out fine. We had to give up a lot of yards. We rope-a-doped a little bit today, and that's how it goes sometimes.
How's Will Disley and...
So you're wondering about rope-a-dope. Greg, you can fill him in, okay?
I'll catch him.
Pardon me?
How's Will Disley and Puna Ford?
I think it was Will got hit on the knee a little bit. We got to see what that means. And Puna had a calf that kind of tightened up. I don't know if it was cramping or not. So those guys didn't finish the game. Nico didn't finish either with a hamstring that bothered him a little bit. So we'll see what that means.
That idea of rope-a-dope, was that just because the uncertainty of Cincinnati's?
Yes, partially. We didn't know what they were going to do, and we weren't sure. Brand new offense with a lot of stuff in their background that they could have done, and so we just want to make sure we controlled it. It's why those 2 big plays stand out so much too, because that was supposed to be eliminated by the way we played it, and unfortunately they got a couple of them.
How do you feel about our running play for next week's game?
We'll be all right. We got a long ways to go. We're just getting started. This is not the indication of anything. This is just our first game. We didn't play very well up front like we wanted to, and part of that too is the way they played, and we didn't know what they were going to do either. And so we just didn't. I would have liked to think that we come in and say, we made great halftime adjustments. We had them. We knew what they were doing, and we pounded the football. But that didn't take place. They played pretty solid throughout. Give them credit. That's a good group up front.
Is today indicative of you guys trying to get Chris Carson more involved in the passing game, or just work out like that?
No, it just kind of worked out like that, I think.
Anything else?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.